Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Players Take, episode 69. I am your host, Justin DeSimone, joined by my co-host, the Manado boy, Montrell Rice.
Hey, what's up?
How's it going, man? You did that.
Playing video
You did
games.
that. You sent that to me on Twitter. You sent me a meme, a Xenoblade meme. It was great. And it ended with my favorite quote in that game, Manado boy. Oh, it's so good. I love Metal Face. He is a name.
Xenoblade one is, it's right time.
It's right time. I'm really feeling it. With the game coming out this week, you guys are in for it. I'm probably going to be quoting it every week on this show if I'm actually playing it. It's great. Backslash. It's awesome. Shala. Oh, the Monado. I love the way Shulk says, Monado. The Monado's power. He's like Frodo almost, It's kind of cute.
Well, it's safe to say that Europe claimed this game. The Nintendo of America, Europe changed their whole little background and their avatar on Twitter.
To what? Wait, to what game?
To Monado, and then the background, like the little heading part above your name. It's like the Xenoblade stuff.
That's awesome. See, hey man, I'm happy. Xenoblade is like getting some real shine from Nintendo. It must be doing well for them. They must be really happy with it because.
Well, Nintendo of America isn't doing it, but
of course not. Nintendo of America, whatever. Nintendo of Europe's where it's at, dude. They do cool shit. They're the cool ones. Okay. Nintendo of America, the ones who like litigate every YouTube channel that shows like 5 seconds of Mario gameplay. So you go, Nintendo of Europe. But anyways, as you guys can tell, clearly this is our weekly show where we talk about video games, video game news, and other topics pertaining to video games. We post 6 a.m. Central Time on Fridays on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, and your favorite podcast app of choice. And we are also on YouTube on Saturdays at 6 a.m. Central Time. We are posting the same episode that goes up on Friday on Saturday on YouTube with gameplay footage running under the audio the entire time. So if you want to see me suck at Apex, you can watch last week's episode. I don't know what Montrell's going to pick this week. He's got a lot of options, though.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, man. Yeah, he got all my gameplay. I had like 100 gigs of gameplay that I just threw at him, last week. So, he's got tons of B-roll footage for whatever we decide to do going forward. So check that out. Otherwise, Montrell, I mean, what's going on with you, man? How's life? How's life treating you?
Ever since I finished, what game was I playing last? Final Fantasy 7, I think. Like the last major game I was playing. I can't remember.
Bro, you've played so many games. You're asking me to name the games. Remember. Like, come on, Dragon Age, Inquisition.
Oh, that's the one. Okay, yeah. So ever since I finished Dragon Age, I've been in like a lull period. I don't know what I want to actually play.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been playing Dot Hack, but like here and there. That's why I'm only on part 2.
I see Final Fantasy 14. This is where, so you clearly are hedging your bets right now and can't decide what to play because you're playing an MMO. And when you do that, you're really like, I don't know what to play. And
I just don't want to play anything really too engaging right now, I guess. And Final Fantasy 14, I can just jump in, do a couple like raids or dungeons, and then jump out. So.
Well, yeah, we're in same spots in the spectrum, man. I feel like for the past month, I have just been twiddling my thumbs. I feel like Final Fantasy VII Remake just left a void in my heart, and I cannot find a game to fill it. And because I've not played like anything really besides Apex Legends, Gwent, and Banjo Tooie for the last like 3 or 4 weeks. And I almost feel like I'm in a funk because we've been playing Apex, dude, a lot. I guess we're rolling into what we've been playing. So, so I've been playing Apex, and dude, I've been playing it basically every day besides recording day for 3 weeks straight, and I need to stop. I just feel like I'm obsessed with it at this point. Like it almost feels like an addiction, and I almost like don't want to play it anymore as much as I having fun. Like I played it too much. I'm like burning myself on it, and I need to stop because not only that, I need to play some single player games. Like
Yeah.
we got Xenoblade coming out 2 days from now on Friday, and then we got Last of Us coming out 3 weeks after that. Then we have Ghost of Tsushima coming out 4 weeks after that. So I kind of need to get back on the wagon, this like single player wagon.
Yeah.
I've really enjoyed playing Apex these last few weeks, but yeah, it's just like it's too much. I'm starting to get that feeling. That feeling you get when you're playing too much multiplayer stuff. Like I feel like I'm like letting my PlayStation down or whatever console you're playing on. Like I just feel like it's like lonely and it wants me to come back, and I'm just like shoving it in the closet, and like leaving it all by its lonesome. So yeah,
Yeah. I mean,
yeah.
I'm
Sorry,
sorry.
go ahead.
No, you can go.
Okay. Yeah, Gwent as well. I said last week I'm basically done with Legends of Runeterra. I played it one more time since last week, and I'm done with it. I turned it on and I was like, I played like a couple matches against bots, and I was like, I don't want to play this game anymore. I'm done. So I turned that off. I haven't uninstalled it yet, but I probably will. Gwent though, maintaining that. I'm gonna keep playing that. So having a good time with that. And then Banjo Tooie. So I'm on the final world now in Banjo Tooie, and after I finish that, I need to go back and clean up everything I didn't do in the other worlds, and then finish the game basically. So I'm really close to being done.
Mm-hmm.
I'd say maybe, I don't know, 4 to 5 more hours. So I'll probably finish it this weekend, and probably get into Banjo 1. I am planning on getting Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition. All the memes you sent me got me in the mood for the game. And then I started reading reviews today, and holy shit, like I'm just like, it's just like love.
8s and 9s across the board.
It should be 10s, dude. Pure love. Pure love. If I'm a fanboy for any game, it's Xenoblade Chronicles, the original Xenoblade Chronicles.
Speaking of fanboys, there was a little mini war on Twitter yesterday between Persona and Xenoblade fanboys. It was pretty
Persona
funny.
Fans can suck my dick. Straight up. They are the most obnoxious group of fans I have ever seen. They think their game is the best thing humanity has ever created. Go away. Persona is great. It's awesome. It's a wonderful series. It's super fun. Just stop being a missionary about it, okay? You don't need to convert every motherfucker that has a passing interest in JRPGs, all right? Go away.
That's pretty much what was going on.
Yeah, go away, all right?
Well,
leave us Xenoblade fans to our own shit, all right?
You know what was going on? So Xenoblade fans were like really, really excited about it, and they were talking about the game. They were hyping it up and everything. And some guy said like, all this hype, you're gonna like, it can't live up to the light. It's not gonna live up to the hype because you guys are hyping the fuck out of it or whatever.
We've played the game, bro. We know what the game is. Like,
so yeah, it turns out he was a Persona fan, and then they're like, you guys do the same shit with Persona. Like, let us have our thing. And you know what? I mean, I'm a fan of both. And just from like an outsider perspective, being a fan of both, I'm not a fanboy of both. I am a fan of both.
Yeah.
And on Twitter, I will say that on the internet in general, Persona fans are out of control. They are.
Dude, they're everywhere. They're everywhere.
I will agree with you on that sentiment. Over the last, when did Persona 5 come out? Like 3 years ago? 2 or 3 years ago?
3 years ago. It was 2017.
Yeah, 2017. So yeah, ever since 2017, I'll say around mid 2017, 2018, they completely outshined the Final Fantasy 7 or Final Fantasy fans in general. Like they're everywhere, Final Fantasy fans. And they're
not obnoxious in this way. Like
they used to be. They used to be.
Yeah,
they did.
Yeah,
they did.
They can't be anymore. They literally can't be because the games just aren't that good.
Yeah, that's only time. Even when 7 came out, they're like, oh, you know what? That fan base is really fun too because they didn't spoil the game at all. That was that I really commend them for that. And with Persona 5, I will commend it. Well, they couldn't spoil it because Atlas had everything blocked. You can't share screenshots or anything like that. So
you want to talk about litigation, man? Yeah. Atlas and Persona, dude.
Yeah, they had everything blocked, and it's still blocked if you try to record gameplay footage like from the PlayStation.
Yep.
But anyway, yeah. Ever since that game came out, everyone wants a Persona 5 style game. I'll say, I did say because I was at a Persona 5 got me back into turn-based combat.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Because just the way it does it, like I do like how exciting the UI. They made everything around the UI or around the combat really fun, like the UI, the sounds, and all that stuff like that. The combat is still turn-based, but they just made it everything else fun. That's how
yeah,
you
it's really
do it.
flashy.
Yeah, and I like that. But not every JRPG needs to be like that, and I understand that. And they and Persona fans were just like, "Oh my god, everything needs to be like this." So
Yeah,
let Xenoblade fans have their moment.
yeah, yeah.
They don't really, they barely get a moment. I mean, the last time they even had a moment was 2017. Yeah,
Right?
2017. But even then, people didn't know the game was good because the game was so fucking long, and people didn't start saying like, "Well, this game's really good" until like into 2017, 2018. Even
Well, the
still, I
game
don't.
came out at the end of 2017, like December. So
And I,
yeah,
and I
no,
still feel like it was overshadowed by a lot of games.
it was. No, it totally was. I mean,
Yeah,
Nintendo never does these games any favors. This is the first Xenoblade game I feel like that actually has gotten like real center stage play from Nintendo. Like because X Dude got released in December and just got shat out. Like it was
yeah,
that the
yeah.
game got no marketing push behind it, and it actually did pretty well despite that fact, which is
Despite being on
crazy.
the Wii U, yeah, I remember I
Yeah,
bought it, and yeah, I remember
yeah,
saying
dude,
it.
it was an
Yeah,
amazing game, right?
it was.
And then yeah, two. I think two got a lot more fanfare from Nintendo than X did, but it still was released in December, which is a terrible time to release any game, let alone a 100-hour JRPG. Like that is just not the time for that. You know, it's like
Yeah,
so.
I
I feel
will
like
say,
yeah.
I
Go
think
ahead.
Smash Bros. Really put the light on Xenoblade Chronicles with
It did.
adding Shulk.
Yeah. Well, also his voice lines, they're just so memey, dude. Like everything he's dude, this game, like I think people don't understand like people who haven't played Xenoblade Chronicles, the first one, like it all started with this game. It wasn't because like Shulk in Smash is literally obviously the character from the game and there's so many lines in this game to, battle lines, just like voice lines from the storyline, like from cutscenes and stuff and it's just like awesome. It's hilarious, but awesome at the same time,
Yeah,
But it's just I don't know. It's great. I love Xenoblade Chronicles. I'm excited. It's gonna be a good time. The game looks beautiful. Yeah, and Persona fans, just let us have our moment in the sun. Give us like the 3-day weekend that we're gonna have to talk about this game with everyone else, and then no
yeah,
one's gonna remember it even exists anymore, and they'll go back to talking about Persona with you. Okay? Can we just have that? It's great. Awesome. Glad we could agree on that. Done deal, everybody. But yeah. So yeah, I think I'm gonna start that probably this weekend if I am able to purchase it
okay.
physically. I'm not buying it digitally.
Yeah, I'm gonna
Um,
buy it physical myself.
right. So I will probably try to start that this weekend. I need to sink my teeth into something that I really like, I think right now to kind of get myself back in the mood to play like single player stuff again. And then I'm probably gonna jump into Last of Us 2, which we'll talk about more later in the show.
Yep.
But okay, so what have you been playing other than Dot Hack and Final
Uh,
Fantasy 14? Is that it?
I've been playing Final Fantasy 14, so like I said, I just started that recently. I have been playing League of Legends here and there. I'm trying to
Wait, hold
switch
on.
up.
Question: what
Yeah.
level are you in Final Fantasy 14?
Uh, I'm level 52.
Okay, so you maxed the character in the base game,
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
Okay, and then that's it. That's
Not
the last time you played.
yeah. So now I'm going to do the Storm Blood content,
Are
and
you
then
are you
we're
on
gonna do Shadow
PS4
Break. No,
or Xbox?
I'm on PC.
Xbox. Oh, you're on PC. Okay, so you're using
Yeah.
mouse keyboard.
Yep.
Okay, shit. Yeah, I was
So
playing
you
on PS4 last time I played,
you
and
can. It's cross compatible though. It's
I
cross
know it
play.
is. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Dude, I don't know. I kind of make me want to play it. I've like wanted to get back into this game because I really like Final Fantasy 14. I think it's a really cool MMO. As much as it is like a theme park MMO, it's like I think it's the best version of a theme park MMO you can make.
Yeah.
Which that's not a bad thing. So,
I am playing. I did start playing because I'm doing the ninja class, and
mhm.
I did do the ninja class with the controller. I found it easier to play that class with the controller. So I don't know if you know how the ninja class plays, but to do
Yeah, no,
certain
I
moves.
was playing it.
Okay, yeah. So
Yeah, no, I was playing a hunter and I mean not what is it called? Not a hunter. Is it just
is
an
it a
archer or
yeah
bard? Sorry,
a
I was playing a
bard? Yeah, a
bard,
bard. There you go.
which archer is the base class of bard. Yeah, I was playing a bard and a ninja. I was playing those
Okay.
two, back kind of
Yeah.
side by side.
Yeah, I have a paladin and a ninja class that I have. So
Yeah, it's a game I want to play. Like, it's one of those games that I get really ambitious with, and then I kind of burn myself out on it because I know I'm never going to achieve my ambitions because I want to play every class and like max every class fucking out and everything. I want to like have a character that has every class maxed and then every like profession class maxed. You know, I want to be like that crazy person. But you
I'm
know
pretty sure
that
there's
would
somebody out there who did that
Oh,
already.
fuck yeah, of course, dude. Oh, if you've been playing the game since launch, absolutely. But that's kind of my point. Is like you'd have to play the game for like years, probably. For me to be able to do that, I have to play the game for years. You
Hell
know, it's
yeah.
like it's never gonna happen. You know, it's just like one of those things though. Like every time I play that game, I'm like, oh yeah, man. Oh god, I got 2 classes up to 40. Oh yeah, I'm doing so good. You know, it's like, but fucking you're barely doing anything. You know, it's just.
Yeah.
But
So I've been playing that, and then I've been playing League of Legends, trying to switch up my positions. Um,
wait, you playing support?
no, yeah, actually, that's my secondary now. So my first,
Ooh.
so my first is a mid lane, and then my secondary is support. And the reason why I switched from jungle to mid lane, or just the lanes in general,
Yeah.
I feel like the jungle role is just way too toxic. I can't handle it now. Maybe 2 or 3 years ago I could handle it, but I can't handle it. My mental
Why
state can't.
is it just people blaming you for everything
Yeah,
all the
even when
time?
you do everything right, you don't get a thank you like at all. Like I've literally, now that I'm playing mid lane, I've seen the impact that that role has had. That role has on the game. It's a huge impact.
Yeah.
Um, that role can literally make or break a game. And seeing other people play, I'm like a silver mid laner, so I'm not. I'm trash as a mid laner. So,
Yeah.
but seeing like the jungler, just their pathing and everything like that, it really irks the shit out of me. And it does. It irks the, and I put myself on mute so I won't type because that's how bad it is for me. When I'm seeing like junglers do the things they do. Um, so that being said, I'm not the best mid laner, but I am learning, and
Game's so toxic.
it is. It's really toxic.
Montreal, I'm just gonna say this, and this might piss some people off, but I don't think you can be a good teammate in a MOBA unless you've played support like extensively, in my opinion, because you have to sacrifice your own fun for other people. Like that's just the way the role can be in
You know what?
MOBAs.
I actually like support. Support
Yeah, no,
is
it's
one of
fun.
those.
It is fun. It is
No,
fun, but you never get the shine on you ever.
and you know what? It is like jungle in that aspect. I will say that. The support does a lot for people that, unless it's like really actively known, like maybe you
Yeah,
have Soraka who's healing people and stuff like that. Like that's like a very in your face, like, oh, thank you type deal. But
yeah.
people don't understand like supports need to roam and
They can't babysit you all game so you can get
yeah,
last hits.
exactly. And you gotta put vision down and things of that nature. I was trying to use ADC as my secondary, but I play with shitty supports. So I switched over to support and I actually a very good support. I support my ADC very well, and I don't mind it. And I found the character I like too. So,
Yeah.
um, but yeah, I was just watching Jungle, and I was like, man, this I really do help my team so much. And I'm not even trying to like pat myself on the back or anything like that. Like,
I
oh, I'm the fucking best jungler.
mean, fucking,
Yeah,
oh my god, I'm fucking, my
but
team
like
wouldn't win without me. Like,
dead ass though, because like because I see how yeah, like I said before, how impactful that role is. Like if the jungler is everywhere, you as a laner can't pass the river or anything like that because you're so fucking scared of that jungler just coming out of nowhere, and
yeah,
he or she may not be nowhere near you, and it's just like it's crazy. The way no one thanks the jungler. Like I thank him all the time now because I used to be a jungler, but it's like No one thanks these motherfuckers at all. And and if they don't do their job, everyone can see it. Like it's just a really stressful role. I don't know how they can make that role less stressful.
By
But
making it less important.
but you have to get
That'd
objectives
be the
on the
only
map.
way.
Yeah,
Yeah, that'd be the only way, dude. And
it's hard though because you have to change the dynamic of the whole game.
yeah, you would, and it would make the game less complex, which probably is not what they want to do.
Yeah.
Because honestly, Dota hasn't had that complexity for a long time, as complex as it is.
Mm-hmm.
Jungle was not a role in Dota, and I think they are recently, like some of the more recent patches in the last year or so, have like changed the meta up to try and like make a jungle role. And I don't know, I haven't like played or looked at videos or anything recently, so I'm not sure if it is part of the meta now
Yeah.
or not. But I think they want to make it part of the meta. And personally, to me, I almost didn't want that because it's like the way Dota is, I think it's hard to. I feel like it creates a weird team imbalance, and I don't know if this happens in League either because the way Dota was is like you had your three laners, right? You're like, you had your core one, core two, core three,
Yeah.
and core one would be like your safe lane, super farmer, right? The one that you don't want in team fights. Like they literally shouldn't be coming to team fights. Like that's how much they need to farm. That's your core one. Your core two would be like your mid, whatever. They roam around a little bit. They do some ganking. They protect the safe lane when needed. But they kind of do their own thing, but they need to control the mid, right?
Yeah.
And then the off laner is kind of like fucked by themselves. They're the character that like nobody really protects because it's too hard to protect them. So you just kind of have to do your best with. Like they're like this. You play like the super tanky characters. That's the way the game was. I don't know if it's still like that right now, but and then you had two supports who would like roam around. One would usually stay with the safe laner, and the other one would kind of roam around the map and like try to control vision and harass enemies and stuff and help laners when needed. And I kind of like that dynamic better than the jungler role because to me, I feel like the jungler generally is a more aggro hero than that second support would be. That second support could be another healer or another character that kind of like does stuns and stuff. And I'm sure junglers have that capability, but it's just like I don't know. It's a role that's intended to be aggressive, and
Yeah.
that second support is not necessarily that, like they're
Yeah.
more of a utility character a lot of the time, facilitating their teammates' plays, Whereas the jungle, I feel like, is facilitating teammates' plays, but they need to make their own plays first to do that.
Well, the thing is, they do have characters like that. That's more of a utility in the
Yeah.
jungle, but they're not popular. They're like the meta. Like you said,
Right.
they're a hyper aggressive
I'm assuming
junglers.
the good junglers are the ones that people pick a lot. Excuse me, are characters that are like have the potential to be ADCs or carry-esque kind of characters if they got crazy enough.
Yeah. So it's like two types of junglers you can get. Like you get like you said, carry, which we call hyper farmers, like
Yeah.
Master Yi, Shyvana. Those they just stay in their jungle and they farm to like level 6 or whatever, and then they pop out and they just pop off.
Yeah.
And then you got the early game junglers, which are the more aggressive ones who can take early game objectives like Warwick,
Right?
Yeah, and they can just come out of the bush and gank at level 3,
Yeah.
and get your laners ahead. So, I usually play like Kindred, who's like a scaling jungler and who's a duelist who can like kind of do 1v1s, and Warwick, who's a early game jungler, who's also a duelist who can do 1v1s and take objectives. The thing is though, with the way the game is set up, um, I would need help. I would need for laners to, have prior over the lane, which means, push the river, have control over the lanes. That way I can take objectives. The people in lower elos and things of that nature, they don't understand that fundamental fact that, hey, in order for him to get this objective, I need to push my lane up, or I have to have control of my lane, or at least locate where my laner is at and help my jungler. So, I mean, me being a laner, I understand how hard it is to do that aspect now, but I still try to help my jungler out as much as I can.
Yeah.
The thing is, I don't get as much help as I could be. I know how to freeze lanes, and I know I'm tossing a lot of terms at the listeners and stuff like that. But simple fact is, I know how to get it to where it's like a jungler bait. Like, oh, you can gank him right now. I set up my lane like that all the time, and I get a lot of CS or farm. but the jungler just never gank, and it's really annoying. And then when I do get a jungler that ganks, I am so appreciative of it because I'm like, oh, you know exactly what I'm doing. And they gank like 34 times, you get like 34 kills, and they get ahead, and then the game is won. So, I'm trying to learn how to cope with that. I think I might take a break from the game because it's really weighing on me. Like how Apex is weighing on you.
Come on over to Dota, baby. I'm welcoming you with open arms, man.
I think I'm done with like MOBAs for a minute because this game is really getting on my nerves.
Yeah. No, yeah, I bet you're feeling the same thing I am with Apex because, yeah, we've been playing ranked, and, dude, it's just like that push to, like, win. It like dominates everything else, you know, and it's like it's so toxic. It's such a toxic environment to be in. And dude, we're like friends, the three of us, like me, Jet, Snakes, and like we're like getting to the point where we're like Snakes. You saw the text probably yesterday. The whole chain yesterday is like Snakes is literally like, dude, I can't play anymore. Like, and I'm like, yeah, we've gotten too toxic because it's like we literally are getting too toxic. We're like yelling at each other, and like people are getting like super greedy with loot, and like it's just like it's like we're trying to win, guys. Like, who gives a shit how much ammo you got versus the other guy? Like, as long as we can both fight, like, we should be good, you know? But it's like people are getting real, like, possessive about loot and shit. It's like it's gotten to the point where we're, like, rotating who gets drops and stuff because it's like we can't trust each other to not just take every drop, you know? It's like So, yeah. So I know what you mean, and it's even worse. This is why MOBAs, I think, are worse. Because it's like you're playing with randos. So you don't really care about being a dick, or most people probably don't care about being a dick to people they don't know because they're never going to see them again. So it's like that atmosphere is just really oppressive, you know, and it really drags the game down to a point that is not fun.
Yeah, this is the only game where I can't handle the shit talk because it's so if you die in lane or something like that and you get behind, and in MOBAs it's really hard to get back into the game unless you're playing a late scaling character. And if you die or something like that or make a mistake and you're playing ranked, it's like everyone shits on you. So I immediately just mute everyone in the game. As soon as the game starts, they can be the nicest people in the chat in the character lobby.
Yeah.
Like, hey man, it's sunshines and rainbows, you know? And it's like, nah, I'm muting everybody because it's just
I give them like one shot. The second somebody starts
I
talking
can't even
shit
do
to
that anymore.
me, the second somebody starts talking shit to me, I'm out. Like I'm muting the whole game because I'm not doing it. Like,
yeah, I can't even do it anymore. Like that's actually the main reason I stopped playing the ADC role, the carry role on the bot lane, is because people will pick. I'm not opposed to people picking like off meta supports, but I need you to know how to play that character really good. And for me to depend on someone else is really that's hard. So I just decided like I'm just gonna go either I'm gonna be the person you have to depend on, I'm gonna be the support, or I'm gonna be mid laner, and that's just what
fair.
it is.
I mean, I think if you're gonna play a carry though, like yeah, you are gonna depend on others, but. Dude, the thing is with MOBAs for me is like I always look at it this way. I have to play the game as well as I can. I cannot control how anybody else in the game plays. So if my team is shit, but I played really well, I mean, okay, that's it. You know, it's frustrating. It probably does get like if you have that 5 games in a row and that's your entire night, you know, that is going to be frustrating for sure.
That's actually been me for the last 2 days. I've lost at least I'm on a 10-game lose streak. So it's like,
oh man, geez. Yeah. I mean, I've had that happen in Dota, dude. It's like, yeah, you play like 5 games in a night and you lose every single one of them because, you know, your team's not great. And it's like, eventually you kind of just need to take a break for a couple of days and let it go and like, you know, recharge. And yeah, I think that's what I need to do with Apex.
Yeah. So just one more thing. I've been playing Dot Hack, and the game is incredibly short. It's only 10 hours. Each game is only 10 hours. Yes, 10 to 13 hours long.
Wow. Okay.
They definitely. I forgot. This is a Bandai game, Bandai Namco game. So they definitely cashed out, and they got they got their money's worth.
Wait. So the first one's 10 hours though.
No, I mean, yeah, the first was 10 hours, the second one's 10 hours, the third one's 10 hours, and the fourth one's 10 hours.
So they should have made one game, is what you're saying.
Yes.
But they made 4.
Yes.
And charged $50 for them back in the day.
Yeah.
Wow. Sounds like Namco.
Yeah. When I got to the end of this game, I was like, and you know what? It was kind of the same thing with Banjo Tooie and you. Like, I just remember this game being much larger than what it is. And when I got to the end, I'm like,
Yeah.
holy damn, we've been playing this game for like 13 hours.
Yeah.
But I think back in the day, that was maybe I was doing a lot of side stuff
Hmm.
and I didn't really do as much side stuff. So I don't know. I don't know. But yeah, that's all I gotta say about. I mean, in the game, is the story's good, but it's like I can't play it for an extended amount of time, and maybe it's because nostalgia or I already played these first two games, so
Yeah.
I'm like kind of just
Same thing happened to me with Banjo, dude. Right?
yeah,
Like, yeah, I can't play it for more than like an hour to 2 hours at a time.
yeah.
I actually really finally got into Banjo this weekend. Like, I had like a really extended session and played it a couple times during the week this week.
Mm-hmm.
And I played it a little bit last night too. I'm like actually finally into it, I think. So I'm like, I need to keep this energy while I have it
Yeah,
because it's fleeting for me. My moods. It's weird how like moody I am with video games at this point in my life. Like I've always been this way, but I feel like it's like more extreme now. The older
I
I
think because
get,
our time is limited, so we have to make
yeah,
the best of it.
dude. The
And I
second I'm not having fun, I just don't want to play anymore.
yeah,
It's like it's like such a sucky feeling though because no game is fun 100% of the way through it. Like even a 10 out of
exactly.
10. So
Yeah,
it's like, dude, I'm gonna play Xenoblade and I bet I'm gonna hit like a lull period where I'm like, oh, I hate this part of the game. And it's like
yeah,
that might like derail me from playing the game entirely because it's like, I don't want to go through that part. It's like, but you just gotta struggle through that couple hours. But yeah, so I just gotta get over the shit. Get my head back in the game.
yeah. I did try to play dot hack or dot hack GU, and I just came to the conclusion I don't like that game. Even though the combat's better, it's I don't know, something about the game it doesn't seem as polished as the originals. Um, in my opinion, and I know a lot of people may disagree with that, but
Mm-hmm.
it's
Yeah,
just for some reason the presentation is there, like everything outside of the actual game, like the worlds and everything, like it's still got the desktop and everything like that, and all the other shit like that. It's still good as far
yeah,
as that. It's just when you go to the actual world and the gameplay is starting to play, and you're in a dungeon, it doesn't feel the same. Like you don't actually go to dungeons in that one. You just stay in the field and you open stuff, and
yeah.
it's just weird compared to like the original dot hack in the PS2. So I think that's why I'm not really into GU like that. I know a lot of people would disagree with me though on that one.
Word. All right. That all you got for games?
Yeah, that's it.
All right, let's move on to news. We got a decent bit of news this week. So, first story is one that makes me want to tear my ears out, eyes out, whatever, all sensory inputs, because Kingdom Hearts is supposedly getting a Disney Plus CG TV show. This was first. I don't want to say announced, but talked about on Twitter, and then it was confirmed by somebody closer to the situation, and it is going to be a television series, not a movie.
Yes.
It's going to be
Yep.
animated. And Disney voice actors are expected to reprise their roles from the games and movies. So I I I can't
I
pretend to
don't
be
think this
mad
is.
about this. I'm not
Yeah,
mad.
this is Disney. This is totally 100% Disney. They
Yeah, but
saw
it's
how
going to be
much.
made it's going to be made by Square. Like Square's producing it.
Oh, they are.
Yeah, no, Disney's not in control of like the creative side of it. So,
Mm.
and I'm just sitting here like Square's gonna make this necessary to understand the next game, and I hate everything about it. It's just I'm not even mad. I'm just like this is my expectation at this point.
Well,
Anything
maybe
related
we'll
to
get
Kingdom
some side
Hearts.
story. Maybe it will be like a side
No,
thing.
dude, no, 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 no. It's gonna be something absolutely essential to some part of the next game. Like it's just it's because what is it going to be about otherwise? Like, is Sora going to be in it? Is Riku going to be in it,
Well,
or is it going to
I
be?
think they did confirm Sora as voice actor.
Yeah. So okay, so Sora's going to be in it. I mean, how are they going to? What are they going to do? Retell stories from the first three games?
That's what a lot of people are saying. A lot of people are saying they're going to either retell stories, or they're going to do some side content or whatever.
Yeah.
between periods of certain games.
Well, okay. So how about this though? Can you envision how bad this show could end up being? Where it's like a flavor of the week show, where they go to like a different Disney World and do some random
It's
bullshit
it,
adventure, and
that's exactly what it's gonna be. That's exactly what it's gonna be. I guarantee. I 100% guarantee
dude.
you, it's gonna be. Have you watched Cowboy Bebop before?
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
yeah. It's like so. It's like that. It's gonna be like a different, non-parallel
Like
adventure.
there's gonna be like a main arc
Yeah,
overarching over the season, and they're
yeah.
gonna dedicate like 3 minutes an episode to that, and then the remaining part of the episode is just gonna be some bullshit happy-go-lucky joyride in like fucking Peter Pan land and Neverland or whatever. You know,
Oh, you know what
it's
they're gonna do? I know exactly what they're gonna do. They're gonna be like, "Oh, this is what happened to the Final Fantasy VII characters." Like they're gonna do
oh
that shit.
no,
Yeah,
no.
they're gonna be like,
Don't
"This,
give
this is
Nomura ideas.
this is what
Stop it.
Squall this is what Squall was doing while Sora was at the fucking Rapunzel's palace or some shit like that. He was over here
Yeah,
at Hollow Bastion doing this
yeah.
shit. Like
Yeah, dude,
so,
no. Disney getting their eye on this series has been the worst thing that ever happened to it, I think, because dude, no, we're never going to see the end of this now. It's a thing. Like this is going to be a mainstay in Square's catalog forever. There's not going to be a break anymore. We're going to be getting these games every 3 years, 2, 3, 4 years. We're probably going to get multiple games a year some years. Like it's just going to be like sensory overload with Kingdom Hearts. That is my feeling at this point with the way Disney's handled Star Wars and Marvel, frankly. And like they've learned some lessons specifically from Star Wars that,
yeah.
too much is too much sometimes. But I don't know if they let Square go wild with this and just like make whatever they want, dude. Square's just gonna keep making games, man, like over and over and over again,
Well,
like tons of shit.
I think they did learn their lesson. What I think Disney's going to do, I think they're going to be more hands off. I say that because even with Star Wars, the new Clone Wars series, they were really hands off with that because a lot of fans wanted that. Because the same people who made Star Wars Clone Wars made Star Wars Rebels, and everyone absolutely fucking hates Rebels.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like and with Star Wars Clone Wars, they were more hands off, like the original writing team wanted to do what they want to do and everything of that nature. But
Mm-hmm.
I feel like with this game, they are gonna let Square do what they want to do. I think they should. I don't. And yeah, you're right. I think they may poop out a game every 2 or 3 years now because I don't think Kingdom Hearts is gonna die. I think we're probably even gonna get a Kingdom Hearts attraction actually at the theme parks
Yeah.
when this shit's said and done. But like you said, I think they learned their lesson. So I don't think it's gonna be as bad with Kingdom Hearts. I don't think they're gonna milk it. But they are definitely going to try to push more franchises into it. But
Yeah, like new movie franchises, they're going in the new games
yeah,
like instantly.
I don't think they're
Like
going to put any Marvel or Star Wars in that game though.
I yeah, I would doubt that. But dude, like I'm reading these comments under this under this tweet, and it's like these people are fooling themselves. They're like, it's going to affect the games, and people are like, no, like they're just going to retell the first game. I'm like, guys, you're fooling yourselves. Even if they retell the story of the first game, they're going to figure out a way to tie it in to the new shit, like the new games. Like they'll do something. I mean, if you saw how Final Fantasy VII Remake ended, Nomura cannot help himself. He cannot. He
Well, that's my
cannot.
biggest fear with Final Fantasy VII is they're gonna. I don't want it to turn into another Kingdom Hearts. I just and
Yeah.
I know it's coming like with that whole Zach shit.
I know,
Oh, let
dude.
me shut the fuck up. Anyway, I
Yeah,
know it's
yeah, yeah.
coming.
You're gonna spoil it, but
So
whatever.
yeah, but
If you've seen the end of the game, you understand what we're talking about.
yeah, yeah. I'm still not gonna spoil it for you guys. But anyway, with that whole shit there, that I was like surprised and hyped. Then I sat back and thought about it, and I'm like, "Fuck, we're about to get another Kingdom Hearts. Like this shit is
Yeah,
about to happen."
as much as I still love the game, I think it might be my game of the year right now, but it's like I I just have so much trepidation with the future of it now because of the way they talk about it, the way they're talking about the next centuries and just knowing Nomura and the way he tells stories, and it's like, ooh, this has burned us before, man. This kind of
Yeah,
setup has burned us in the past, and I
I
don't know if
saw
I trust them.
I saw a tweet said when they beat the game, they're like, "Wow, so is this what Kingdom Hearts fans feel like?" And everyone in the comments was like, "Yes."
Yep, dude, 100%, man, 100%. Um, yeah.
Yeah, because
So
Kingdom Hearts 3 was supposed to be the end of it, and then
no.
motherfuckers in some other fucking world. So I don't.
Yeah, right. So yeah, I mean, if you like Kingdom Hearts and you're excited, just be excited about it. I guess, as Square once famously said, please be excited about
Yeah,
this new Kingdom Hearts television show thingy. All right, let's move on. Next story. Tencent has officially taken control of System Shock 3, which is a game that has long been in development trouble for about a year, I'd say now. The original studio, Other Side Entertainment, who own the IP for System Shock, announced on Twitter last week that Tencent is officially taking the System Shock franchise forward. And here's a small quote from them. Quote, as a small indie studio, it had been challenging for us to carry the project on our own. We believe Tencent's deep capabilities and expertise as a leading game company will bring the franchise to new heights,
deep
which
pockets.
this implied that the franchise had been bought by Tencent, which is not the case. Other Side Studios did say they still own the IP. It's just that Tencent is going to be, it sounds like, making the rest of this game or remaking the game or making the game from the ground up. I don't really know, but it's just an interesting turn in the saga and another feather in the cap of Tencent, who continue to just buy up or take control of or inject money into whatever the hell they want within the game industry with no one stopping them. No one saying no
Yeah,
either.
they already got Bungie in their pocket. They got
Riot,
some other Riot,
Epic.
Epic. Yeah, you're right. I forgot about them.
They have
Yeah,
some of the biggest. They have controlling stakes or close to controlling stakes in a huge number of large companies within the game industry. It is
it's
unnerving how
it's
many.
pretty scary.
Like just go Google that. Google what Tencent has their fingers in within video games, and it is absolutely alarming.
Not
Like,
to mention they're free to play MMOs,
yep,
they're cell phone games and all that shit. Like they are making a shit ton of money.
yep.
So
And I'm waiting for the other shoe to drop someday. I don't know when that day will come, but I feel like the other shoe is going to drop someday. And oh man, it's one of those things. Like, I think in the short term this doesn't matter, it's not that big of a deal. It's just like, I feel like down the road, like 20 years from now, 30 years from now, something's going to happen with these guys. They're going to have enough of the industry under their control that they're going to be able to do some really fucking heinous shit, and we're not going
yeah.
to be able to do anything about it. Like, the die is being cast now as they inject their money into everything.
Well,
So
I mean, we already saying that with like the whole Blizzard thing and Hong Kong and all that shit.
that's
So
true. That is true.
yeah.
Right, that's another one, dude. Yeah, Activision and
Yeah,
Blizzard.
man. We saw that was a direct influence. They're like,
Yep.
fire this guy or get rid of him. Like that was really
Ban them or
crazy.
whatever. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
pretty
So
nuts. Um, yeah. So yeah, you've never played System Shock, I assume, right?
no,
Okay, me either. It is interestingly has some sort of connection to BioShock, from what I understand. I don't know.
BioShock is a spiritual successor to System Shock.
Okay, I don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think it's a direct connection, right? But
No, no, no. It's just a spiritual successor.
okay, interesting. Yeah, it's just interesting that Tencent's the one they landed on. Like, did they shop the game around to anybody else and no one else was interested? It's like,
I
I
mean,
just,
maybe Tencent saw what that team had and liked it, and they're like, okay, we'll fund it.
yeah. Well, System Shock is a kind of popular cult, like, old PC IP.
Yeah,
So it's I don't know. It's one of those things. This feels like one of those things to me. If you were a company, right, like Activision or EA, who got approached by these guys and were like, "Hey, we need money or we need a publisher for this game. We want to finish this game," and they said no, and then Tencent is like, "Oh yeah, we'll take the game," and it's like, "Oh fuck, did we just make a mistake?" It's like what did they see in this that we didn't? Kind of thing. So I don't know. They unsettle me.
yeah. Every time I see that name, I get unsettled.
Me too. All right. Well, time to get pissed, Montrell. Time to get pissed. You ready? You ready?
I already dealt with it. I cried in the shower last
You-
night.
okay, I'll have my cry tonight, dude. I'll promise you that. So, EA and the NFL are supposedly coming to an agreement to extend the partnership
Oh my
of
god.
the
Of the
NFL license for Madden through 2025 and potentially 2026 if the series, quote, achieves certain revenue goals, end quote.
I
And this is being voted on today, or was potentially voted on today. I couldn't find anything confirming that, whether it had passed or not, but I assume
okay.
it will. I assume it will. I don't. I
You
wouldn't be
don't
surprised if it
understand.
doesn't.
Like I am dead serious when I say like I know it's not that serious, and there's a lot of more serious shit in the world going on right now. But I dead ass have a tear came out of my eye when I read that article. I was like, no, this
Dude,
is
when you
not
sent it
happening.
to me, I just screamed literally out loud, "No!" Like it made me distraught. It's just, dude, like, please, somebody out there, anybody with pull within the NFL, just get me in a room, when the discussion for this is happening. Get any of us in a room, any of us who are like really passionate about football games, who don't like Madden. Get us in a room, please, and just let us make our case to the NFL that this is a bad idea. Just and then they'll flash the $800 million per year revenue, $900 million. I'm sure the revenue goal is $1 billion that they want to hit or whatever. They'll flash that, and then our argument will be invalid. But at least I'll have tried.
Well, they
Because
can. The thing is, they don't have to do exclusivity. They don't have to do exclusivity. They can do both. Give
I
it
know,
to 2K and give it to
yeah,
EA, and then have a good competition. I mean, the free market. Let the free market do its thing. Like,
yeah,
like
right. I don't think the NFL believes in that though. They've always been about control, dude. Always. You know.
yeah. When I saw this, I instantly thought about the Direct TV thing, and I
Yep.
got pissed all over again.
Yep.
It's like I don't understand why they're so behind. I honestly thought they were not gonna do this again. Like I thought they may have like, yeah, we're still going to give like some kind of like I don't know
Some kind of like
privilege to yeah
like
like
like almost like a wind down. Like you get it for a couple more years, but then we're gonna let someone else kind of like if 2K wants to make one, but 2K signed a deal with the NFL like I think it was a few months ago, right? We talked about it on the show, and
yeah.
we were saying that we were hopeful that this meant something was coming, like that the partnership might have been over. And man, were we naive? Holy shit! It's just
I mean, because honestly, it's gonna. I think it's the same thing with like Disney and EA and everything like that. But Disney was more involved because the fans got them involved.
mhm.
I think the fans of NFL, you, you guys are gonna do the same thing that the Star Wars fans did. You gotta act, NFL. You gotta talk to them, send letters to them, tell them how bad these games are because they probably don't
But
know.
that's
All
the
they see is
problem. No,
yeah,
that's the problem. I think the people talking to the NFL are probably the people who love Madden.
yeah,
Like and the players think Madden's good, The NFL
yeah.
players
That's
think it's
true.
good.
That's
So
true.
they all play it, dude, and they all talk about how much they like playing it. And it's like, man,
Like 2K was the pinnacle of football games. Like
yeah.
we're never gonna get that shit back.
And dude, like I said, if there's no football season, I'm thinking about getting the next Madden, which is like stupid, I guess, of me, but it's like I don't have a choice. You know, if I'm in the desert and I'm fucking parched, and there's one guy who has control of the only water source around, you know, literally the only one. I mean, what am I gonna do? I have to go to the guy and buy his water, like, or I'm gonna die of thirst. Like, there's no other option. That's just what happened here. It's like there's no other option for a football game. And
Yeah, I just can't believe they're doing this. I can't. They make some bad deals. Like who's running this shit? Like
dude, they don't understand the market. They don't. They don't. They see the amount of money that EA is making, and they're like, "Wow, that's a lot of money." Like, but they don't realize that like they probably could make more. You know?
Yeah.
But whoever's in the NFL offices, like, I just don't think they're very informed. You know,
Well, I
like
mean,
do you think they have a video game guy like in the NFL offices? Fuck no, no, come on.
I think they should. I think
Yeah, of
it's
course
some.
they should, but they definitely don't. They definitely don't. This is one of those
They
things.
apparently don't have a TV or streaming guy because what the fuck?
They actually do. That's the sad part. It's just, I know it's greed. They don't. I don't know. Yeah, the fact that you can get Game Pass for free in like Iraq is such a fucking offensive thing for me. It's like, it makes me so mad just thinking about it. I mean, it makes sense, right? Because it's a country. It's like you want to get the NFL popular in that country or whatever. But
Yeah.
it's just like, I can't even buy it. It's not about them getting it for free. It's the fact that they can watch games on it. You know, I don't care about them getting it for free. I would pay $150 for it. You know,
But
but
don't you gotta get direct TV though to get the
now,
Game Pass?
yeah, in the United States, but other countries, that's not the case, dude. You can buy Game Pass in like Europe, you know, and watch it in Europe. Watch streaming in Europe. Watch games streamed in Europe. But in the USA, they had like this is the argument I've made with people like year after year after year. It's like the NFL has the streaming infrastructure already in place, you know? That like,
Yeah.
yes, they'd have to like build up their server farms probably in order to like handle USA's demand for streaming like hugely. And maybe they don't want to make that investment, but
It will pay off.
yeah. Right? Like dude, oh man, it's so
They
frustrating.
will make tenfold. All you gotta do is, if they worry about advertising, just put advertising in between the streams. Like, it's not a big deal.
You like they could continue to advertise the same way they do on television.
Yeah.
You wouldn't have to change the format at all for online.
The thing is, though, I think someone in the office or someone at Time Warner or whatever the case, or AT&T or somebody, has convinced them that that TV is still alive and well, but it's dying. And this is the only reason it's not dying is because the NFL in the USA rather.
Yeah,
The only is because of the NFL. Like, I've know people. I mean, I think you're one of them too, who literally only have cable. Not you, because other things.
I don't have cable, and I'm not buying cable specifically for football.
Yeah,
Fuck that.
so
that's a waste of my time and money and energy. It's just
my father just called me the other day and was like, "Yeah, I'm getting rid of cable." I was like, "What about football?" He's like, "I have other ways to watch it now." I'm like, "Okay, whoa, excuse me."
Yeah, and this is the reality, though. They've given people no other choice but to do that. You know?
Yeah.
And they're gonna turn streaming on. I think in the next 5 years they will turn the streaming on. I really
That's
believe
so
that.
late though. That's
I know.
So late.
Like by that point, it should have been up 10 years ago, 15 years ago, dude. I remember 5 years ago in 2015 when they were renewing the deal with DirecTV. I was like, they got to be canceling it at this point. Netflix is huge, you know. It's like streaming is like a huge thing, and it's like, nope, they upped it for 5 more years. I was like, what? What?
I mean, it's
what
the
world
same
am I
thing.
living in? Is it 1990?
It's the same thing with Madden, bro. Like,
It is.
where are they doing? Like, this is not. I mean, I know we hate Madden. There are plenty of people who love Madden, but I don't think they love Madden because it's Madden. They love Madden because it's the NFL.
It's football. Yeah, because it's football. Like you could slap literally any name on this game, and it's the same game, and people would love it. It's not Madden they're specifically in love with.
I just want them to open their license back because, I mean, we had, like, if we can get some fun games like NFL Street, NFL Blitz.
Which we might. No, I think we might from 2K. I think that's possible.
Okay.
Because, yeah. But to me, it's like, the thing is, by the time this deal runs out, this new one, it will have been 20 years, over 20 years.
So long.
Since we got a football game that wasn't from EA. Dude, it's been half my life and yours since we got a football game that wasn't made by EA, like an NFL football game. That is insanity.
And I can't say they all have been bad, but the last, I'll say 5 to 7 years have been fucking horrendous.
Dude, if I buy Madden, you guys buckle up. I am going to shred the shit out of that game, despite the fact that I'm having fun. Oh, I'm going to like it. But then I'm going to tell you about the interface that hasn't changed in fucking 10 years. You know? And I'm going to scream about that. And fucking
franchise mode.
Oh, my God. Don't get me started. Last time I played it, it was the same fucking game from like 4 years prior to the franchise mode. It was ridiculous. Actually, they had taken features out. Like, it's fucking absurd. It's ridiculous. Damn it. Don't get me started on this. We need to move on before I go on a rant.
Let's move on.
I'm like building up, dude. I'm like the steam coming out of my ears. Like, Jesus. Oh, yeah. Let's talk about Blizzard. that's gonna make my mood better. Fucking. Oh man, I'm grumpy today, man. All right. Blizzard has announced officially BlizzCon has been canceled for this year. I mean,
go figure.
What?
Go figure. I mean, we knew this was gonna happen.
I mean, yeah, obviously. I feel like anything that's like in person in the for the rest of the calendar year is going to be canceled. But I mean, then again, we're saying that as like every state's trying to reopen and like coronavirus cases are spiking. But whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever the case, individual companies are making their own decisions. So BlizzCon has been canceled. They did say that they are hoping to have a digital event in its place. However, they are not committing to the same time frame. They're saying that it is very likely it's going to be early next year as a result, because they are new to that kind of thing and they want to make sure they get it right, which, you know, that's funny coming from them, given the fact that BlizzCon's been a disaster for like the last 3 years, but whatever.
Is it really that hard to make an online show? I mean, a lot of companies have been saying that.
I mean, everybody's got a streaming service, right? Right, guys? Right, guys? You have a streaming service, don't you?
Well, all they have to do is make a YouTube channel.
Or Twitch. Yeah, you have a Twitch account, don't you, Blizzard? Everybody has a Twitch account, right? We all have like Elgatos or whatever. You can download OBS for free. Oh my god, I need to stop. The salt is like so hardcore.
Salt
right
is
now.
real.
I'm sorry, everybody. I'm just being a salty salt. I'm being a salt lick. Yeah. So BlizzCon's canceled. No surprise. They did say they want to hopefully do something in place of the tournaments that would usually take place, which that's probably more in their wheelhouse to facilitate. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see some digital tournaments happen around that time. But I mean, it's not that big of a deal to me. It's like, what the hell were they announcing anyways this year? They already blew their load last year with like Overwatch 2 and Diablo 4. So
they're probably going to show gameplay footage of Overwatch 2 and Diablo 4.
Maybe give a date for it, like a release date.
And then they're going to like slowly announce like Diablo Immortal, some shit like that.
Yeah, like re-reveal Diablo Immortal and and be like, apologize.
Yeah, because I mean, we're not getting a StarCraft game. We already know that.
Yeah.
So I mean,
Warcraft's dead.
Warcraft. I mean, they're gonna probably announce some patch or some shit like that.
No, they're gonna announce the end of WoW Classic. They're gonna shut down the WoW Classic servers, even though it's more popular than retail.
They would never do that. That would be the dumbest shit.
I know
ever.
they wouldn't. I know they wouldn't, but you know, it's just fun to dream of the shitstorm that would cause. But
maybe they announce like a progressive server.
Yeah, that'd be interesting. Yeah, that's possible. I could see that. I'm sure they'll announce Diablo 2. Actually, no, never mind. I guess if that's supposed to be coming out this year, then that'll get announced beforehand. But we'll see about that. I'm not sure that one's actually going to make it out this year or not. But what else could they even show? I guess
you think about it, Blizzard really doesn't have that much shit.
No, that's why them having a conference every year is stupid. It's pointless. They should be doing every other year at best, you know. But Activision's pushing them to have a game release every calendar year. So,
wow,
I guess that's their justification for it at this point. So,
damn, they got in bed with the wrong people.
Yeah. Yep. That was a long time ago. I wonder if Mike Morhaime regrets that. Who knows? Maybe we'll be able to ask him someday. All right, next story. This one is crazy. So Microsoft had a blog post. They were talking about some, integrated social stuff or whatever. But they were talking about, Minecraft, and they mentioned Minecraft hit a new sales milestone, which is 200 million copies sold, which is obviously the highest selling game of all time is Minecraft, 200 million. The next closest game is, I'm sure you can guess this, I'm gonna give you 3 seconds. 3, 2, 1.
Is the
Grand Theft
Wii?
Auto 5.
Oh shit! I thought it was still a Wii game.
Uh,
Uh,
that is the third game.
okay.
Wii Sports.
Wii Sports, yeah.
Yep. But yeah, Grand Theft Auto 5 is 70 million copies behind at 130 million. So,
That is
and
fucking insane.
they also said that they still have 126 million unique players a month. That is nuts. Dude.
I don't get this game.
Me either.
I don't
I don't understand it. Why
I
is
don't
it
get
still
it.
so popular?
I really don't get it.
I've played it,
You
man. I don't get it.
I think it's you know what? A lot of kids play this game and a lot of
They do.
parents
Yep.
they watch them play the game and the game is innocent. You know what I'm saying? There's not any I mean there are those zombies, but they're blocks and shit like that. Like nothing's violent happening, right? Like it's not
Mm-hmm.
no Resident Evil or nothing and shit like that. And even
Yeah.
if you're like a parent and you're like against Fortnite, like the violence in Minecraft is minimum. And then you don't have to have violence in Minecraft. You can just farm and shit like that and
Right.
build stuff.
Well, yeah,
So
you can play the game with no enemies or whatever. Like you can do whatever you
exactly.
want. You can set the mode to be whatever you want. So
Yeah. And you can make servers, progressive servers, and all the other shit like that. So I mean the game is very dynamic and unique in that aspect. I just
Mhm.
can't get past the blocky stuff. That's not my cup of tea. Like it's aesthetically ugly to me, but I understand why people do like it. You can do a lot with that aesthetic, and I
Yeah.
respect it. So
Yeah, and I mean, this is probably the best like acquisition Microsoft's ever made. Was buying Mojang. I mean, it's pretty crazy how much money they make off this game every year. It's
well,
I think
on top of that, it's available on all consoles.
well, yeah, I think that was something that a lot of people not in the know with this, like, frankly, a lot of video game journalists actually at the time when Microsoft purchased this studio, they speculated that like, what does this mean? Does this mean it's not going to be on PlayStation anymore or Nintendo or whatever? And I was like, are you guys fucking crazy? There's a 0% chance they're going to take this game off any platform. Like this game prints money, straight up prints money. Like they would be idiotic to take it off any console. I don't care who it is.
Yeah,
And yes, it's weird that a Microsoft logo is going to show up on a Sony PlayStation or a Nintendo Switch, but dude, it's like whatever. The game sells like crazy. It's on the top 10 list every single month. Every month. They said this game because they announced the sales numbers last year. It had sold 176 million up through last year, a year ago, and it sold 24 million copies since then in a year. A calendar year. It is averaging 2 million sales a month. That's nuts. That is insanity. Like Neo just announced Neo 2. Koei Tecmo just announced Neo 2 just broke 1 million. And that's like a huge success for them. 2 million a month, Montrell. 2 million a month. Like that is unfathomably high amount of money. Like
and they don't update that game. I mean, they update it, but it's not like a Call of Duty. You know what I'm saying? Like,
well,
I don't know.
dude, don't even think about just those sales. There's like DLC for this game. Imagine how much money they made off DLC. You know, like think about that. 200 million games. Let's just assume for a second that they've averaged $10 per sale, which seems pretty low to me because I think the game costs $25 or 20, somewhere between $25 and $30. Like normally when it's not on sale. Like the 10 times 200 million is 2 billion. That's $2 billion in revenue. That's just from game sales. A single game. That's insane. That's craziness. Like, dude, that's like a movie. That's bigger than movie IPs. Like the Marvel movies. Like
Yeah,
Marvel movies. Like the best ones make $1 billion. Those are that's like the crazy ones. Like Avengers. And like Minecraft's got like double that. Assuming my $10 per copy average is correct. It could be $20 per copy, and that would be $4 billion like in revenues. And that doesn't include DLC or whatever else, like costume packs and whatever the hell else they've done over the years. So it's yeah. I mean, then you got merch sales. I mean, dude, there's like Lego tie-ins. There's like shirts and merchandise and just like toys and all sorts of stuff for this game. Like it's crazy, man. It's nuts.
you know what I'm thinking though. If this game had came out when I was younger, I probably would be playing the shit out of it. It's a
I bet.
game
I
geared
bet
towards younger people.
it is. Well, because it fosters your creative energies, right? Because
Yeah.
like the whole game is about building your own stuff, like first mining things to build stuff, and then building your own stuff, like building a house or whatever. And yeah, when I was younger, I probably would have eaten a game like this up. But like at the point in time in my life I'm at now, the last like 10 years, like I tried it like 5 years ago, and I was just like, I don't know. I don't like games like this that have like no point to them. Like the game
Hmm.
has no goal in mind. Even the survival mode has like no real goal. You're just like trying to stay alive, which isn't really that hard. You know,
Yeah.
so it's like, so I don't know, but I get it for the creative side of it. It's like a super creative game. All right, let's move on to April. MPD numbers have come out, and man, these numbers are pretty interesting. So last month we saw a really huge uptick in game sales, hardware sales, everything basically. And given the fact that April was kind of the big month for staying at home, this has gotten even crazier, it seems. So game sales for April 2019, 846 million versus this year, $1.466 billion in video
Oh,
game sales revenue.
this
Hardware,
industry cannot be denied anymore. I'm sorry. Like,
hardware, huge jump. 160 million last year, 420 million this year. That is nuts, dude. And then video game software, physical, full game digital formats from all the major digital stores. 428 million last year, 662 million this year. That is a 55% increase. And then accessories and game cards, 258 million last year versus 384 million this year. So big gains all across the entire industry. This is very much likely due to COVID. I would not expect these kind of numbers if things hadn't happened the way they've happened the past few months. But because yeah, we had been trending way down for like
yeah,
several months.
people were just
Um,
waiting for the next consoles.
right, and I think the fact that we're all stuck at home has just driven people to buy stuff. So
Yeah.
um, pretty crazy. So here's top 10 game sales in the US for the month. Final Fantasy VII Remake, number 1. Number 2, Call of Duty Modern Warfare. Number 3, Animal Crossing New Horizons. That is its second month on sale. March was its first. Number 4, NBA 2K20. Number 5, Grand Theft Auto 5. Jesus, dude. Number 6, Resident Evil 3. Number 7, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 Remastered. MLB The Show 20 is number 8. Number 9 is Madden NFL 20. Number 10, Red Dead Redemption 2. Number 11, Just Dance 2020. Number 12, FIFA 20. Number 13, Mortal Kombat 11. Number 14, Borderlands 3. Number 15, Predator Hunting Grounds. Number 16, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, the game that will never die. Number 17, Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. And then 18 is Persona 5 Royal. Number 19 is Need for Speed Heat. That game is just like hanging on, dude. Crazy.
I heard it's pretty good.
I need to check it out because yeah, it keeps selling. So maybe it is good. Number 20, hanging on by a thread, Dragon Ball Z Kakarot. Yeah, no surprise on Final Fantasy. That game was huge last month. Obviously, it's the best-selling Final Fantasy I think in its first month ever. From what
Yeah,
from
it
I
is.
believe Square said that.
It beat Final Fantasy 15. Final
15,
Fantasy
right?
15 was that other one.
Yep, and Animal Crossing New Horizons is nuts. That game, I believe, has sold like 13 million copies or something insane like that. So no surprise that that one's still high on the list. Yeah, anything else jump out to you there?
Nah, I mean,
I
I'm not
guess
surprised, but I am surprised that it sold more than Call of Duty. Call of Duty is like that
never
game that
dies.
that you strive to beat, and they beat it
Yeah.
this month. So
Well, I mean, Grand Theft Auto 5 being a 5, dude, that's just I just like
I'm
can't
not
even
even surprised anymore.
I just can't even like I can't even understand that. That's pretty crazy, dude. Um
Well, you gotta think about it, right? When did Grand Theft Auto come out? 6, 7 years ago?
came out in September of 2013.
Okay, so I'm thinking, um, every month from here on out, kids were turning 18 and they can buy this game. They didn't need their parents to buy it anymore. I'm
Yeah.
assuming parents did not want them to buy this game because this is a very, very violent game. uh,
Yeah.
very adult game. And yeah, I'm assuming people are just turning 18 and buying it. I know
Yeah.
I would probably do that if my parents denied me a game. I don't need you to buy me a game anymore, so I'm about to go buy it.
Yep. Yeah, and Final Fantasy is the third best-selling game this year. After this month, Animal Crossing is 2, and Call of Duty Modern Warfare is number 1. And I guess rounding out that 10, NBA 2K20 is 4th on the list so far this year. Dragon Ball Z Kakarot is 5. MLB The Show is 6, which is actually really impressive for a game on one platform. Number 7, Grand Theft Auto 5. 8, Resident Evil 3. 9, Madden NFL 20. And 10, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Jesus, dude. I'm sure that'll get knocked off, though, later in the year. So, yeah, game sales are healthy right now. As much as we are going into a new generation soon, people are cooped up inside and want something to do, so they're buying video games, and that includes hardware, which is actually interesting. Like, the timing of this almost feels like like kind of ridiculously convenient for the games industry, because hardware sales were dead, prior to COVID happening, particularly for PlayStation and Xbox. Like, and now it's just like, I'm sure they're selling tons of units at the moment. So it could be an interesting end to this generation in terms of revenue.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on. So Jason Schreier we're now working at Bloomberg, which I will never not find ironic. And he has published his second article, and it is about Sony planning a PS5 reveal conference, supposedly for next week. June 3rd is the date that has been rumored. And he said in the article that this date could move due to COVID, but this event seems imminent regardless. So this is exciting. I'm really hoping this does happen next week. It would be an interesting strategy for Sony, though, 3 weeks in a row, having a state of play / conference event on Wednesday.
Yeah, they're keeping fresh in people's minds.
Right. Well, yeah, kind of owning the news cycle right now. I mean,
Yeah.
I said that it would have been weird for them to not do something around E3,
Mm-hmm.
even if they weren't at the show. Like, I felt like a digital event was just like, it almost needed to happen. So I'm not surprised by this, but at the same time, I am excited to finally get something. A lot of people are saying, though, that this could potentially just be like game reveals, which actually would be great. Honestly, it'd be super, super good if it was just game reveals. And the
Yeah,
console might be revealed later.
I still want to see what the console looks like.
Yeah. I don't know if we'll get that. I imagine we'll get a bigger blowout with that later in the summer if we don't get it here. And even if we get something here, like a view of the box or something like that, I don't think we're going to get price here. I don't know. I think that would be almost too much. Like, to show the console and then start talking about console features, and then you start showing like a shitload of games on top of it. Like, you're going to be looking at like an hour and a half conference, and I just don't know. I don't know if that's a good idea for Sony at the moment. But they have been so silent that maybe it would work. I mean,
honestly, yeah, that would work. But they can do anything and they'll still get praise. So
that's fair, dude. That's fair. That is very, very.
I literally think they
fair.
can't do anything wrong at this point. So they can show off the console. Maybe only thing I will agree with you on is they won't show the price. They don't want the PS3 situation. If it is going to be as high as the PS3 was, well, at the time, equivalent to that, like $700 or some ridiculous shit like that. So,
well, and doing it now when tons of people have lost their jobs and shit, just seems like a bad idea. But maybe it's a better idea to do it now, though, so people can save their money. I don't know. It's like kind of a weird kind of strategy, I guess. Either way, you'll kind of have pros and cons to both. But I mean, what games, if they do show games, what games do you think they'll show? Given this could be about the launch lineup.
I mean, they're probably just going to show some stuff from the PlayStation Studio that they really recently renamed. Sucker Punch already came out with it's already coming out with the game. So
yeah, I think Insomniac would be likely with something like a Ratchet and Clank game potentially.
I think Square Enix is going to probably announce something. They usually have really close ties to Square Enix.
Yeah, I would expect some third-party stuff here too.
Yeah.
I could definitely see something from Gorilla.
I forgot all about them. Yeah,
I don't
definitely.
think it would be Horizon 2. It could be, but I don't think so. I think it would be likelier that whatever their B team is working on, it's probably that game. Whether it's a Killzone game or something else, I think it would that could be possible. I don't think they're going to announce a shitload of stuff though. Like you don't want like 5 of your studios releasing games in the you know first 6 months of the console being live. Like it'll only be like 1 or 2 games, I imagine, at most from their studios. They'll probably show other games that might be coming in the future, like in a year or two.
Yeah.
I wouldn't expect like anything crazy though from their first party studios. Even though a lot of them have had a lot of time since their last game, I think in terms of spacing your games out, it doesn't make sense to put them all at launch. You really want like 1 or 2 kind of killer apps at a console launch. So kind of the way Nintendo did with the Switch with Zelda, right?
Yeah.
Because that game, I remember when the Switch launched, like that game was like literally sold with like 90% of Switches at the same time people bought their Switch.
Yeah.
But
Unfortunately, we didn't get another Zelda game. So.
mhm. But yeah, we'll if this does happen next week, we will be talking about it more than likely. So hopefully it happens. So look forward to that. All right. Last story. We had another state of play, like I said. This happened today. This one was about Last of Us 2, and it was a story / gameplay trailer. It was a combination of both. It was 23 and a half minutes. It showed the first half of it was Neil Druckmann talking for the most part about the game, design of the game, and kind of what people can expect from the story and gameplay and some of the changes they made to the game since the first one. And I don't know, Montreal, you watched this, I assume, right?
Yeah, I did.
What did you think of it?
I was actually impressed. Like, I'm not even going to hate on the game. I was impressed by the mechanics they
Okay.
introduced.
Yeah.
It actually looks like a game now. Like, I feel like when I was watching them play it, I feel like they're playing the game and not just moving on to the next story section.
Right. The next like pre-rendered cutscene moment.
Exactly. Yeah, it felt like an actual game. I know we memed about them jumping and everything like that, which I'm glad they just like kind of hovered over and they showed actual gameplay mechanics.
Yeah.
Whoever's in charge of their like Twitter feed, PlayStation's Twitter thing needs to be fired. Like,
yeah, that was. Oh man, yeah, that was pretty bad.
But I'm very impressed. Like the dodging mechanics in the game, the stealth mechanics.
Yeah. The melee combat. I was like, wait a second, like. Is she like dodging melee attacks? Like what?
Man.
I was like, wait a sec, what is going on here? So, that looks pretty good to me. I think the stealth did look good. I am still concerned about that aspect of the game as much as they added like, guard dogs and shit that are going to be able to like find you, behind cover and stuff. Like that's cool and all, but I think the fact there were some moments where like Ellie was like right next to / above like a person walking by with a dog and like they didn't notice her at all moving, like walking, and she like threw a Molotov on top of them and it was like, they didn't.
Oh yeah, they were already looking for her, I believe, in that scene.
Yeah, but they didn't notice, they didn't hear her or anything like that. It's just like, I don't know. I feel like these games, like stealth in these games, is still just kind of stuck in this like weird plateau state where enemies are like really fucking dumb. And I think Last of Us does it better than a lot of other games because it's so core to the experience, but we'll see. I'm sure there's going to be some jankiness with the stealth that I don't know. It's something that always takes me out of these games. It's like it makes you realize you're playing a game,
Yeah.
and that in an experience like this, that's like the last thing you really want to happen. But like you said, though, there is a lot of like immersion factors that they really seem to have enhanced with the gameplay. Kind of the fact that they said in the stream that like running away is legitimately going to be like a strategy is like kind of cool, I guess, but at the same time, it does kind of make me wonder, like, how far does that go, right? Can I walk like 2 blocks away and then the enemies forget I was ever there, and they're like not on alert anymore? It's like that's kind of stuff I'm talking about with stealth. It's like, I don't know, like if a dog's chasing you, I feel like it's not going to just like de-aggro, like if you're trying to make like a realistic game,
Yeah, I mean,
it would probably chase you until
You gotta have checks and balances though, so you can't have
I
it too
know.
realistic where you gotta make the game fun. And I'm
Yeah.
not defending it. I'm just saying like you have to make the
Yeah.
game
I
kind
mean,
of
I'm not
fun.
saying
So
they can find you like fucking anywhere, but it's like I don't know. Like you
I
like
I totally get what you're saying because like all stuff games do that. Even Splinter Cell
yeah,
and
Metal
Metal
Gear.
Gear, they do
Yeah.
that. They have some level of incompetency within the enemies. The enemies. I'm sorry, but I don't know. It looked pretty good here so far. I mean, I got over the fact. The thing that got me was the X-ray thing, and I just got over the fact this is a video game. So I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
whatever. It's just a video game.
Yeah,
Uh,
I thought for a moment they were because there was a moment where they showed her using that and you could see your own like scent trail or whatever.
yeah,
And I thought for a moment he was saying that like the dogs could catch you if you use the audio mode or something like that. And I was like, oh, are they building in like a detriment to using that? But no, that's not the
that
case.
would actually be pretty cool if they did like
Yeah.
have a punishment behind it.
Right. Which I think
That
they
would have been
should because
cool.
the mechanic is so OP, you know.
Yeah,
It's
it
like
is.
it which, you know, they do have a mode though called grounded mode that they had in the first game that disables that ability. So
Ah, okay.
yeah, but it's like the super hard mode. So I don't even know if it's unlocked from the get-go either. I kind of hope it is because I almost like want to play it without the sound thing. Because I don't know. I don't like that mechanic that much, but um maybe I'll just play normal or hard without trying not to use it as much as I can.
So
Um,
another thing that was like super interesting for me was that he said that it was going to be playing. It's going to be played across different parts of the America. So
mhm.
he's like, you're going to be. He said for the most part, it's going to take place in Seattle, Washington, but you're going to be in Jacksonville or Jackson, and he said other parts of America. So
Yeah.
I don't know how expansive this game is going to be, but
Mhm.
I'm really interested in seeing that. It looks like the game's going to be like open world sections. So like you
Yeah.
go to a certain part and
Yeah.
that level is going to be like kind of an open world sandbox, kind of like Kazooie or
Yeah. Well, I'm
Metal
thinking
Gear
more
5.
like yeah, or more like God of War's like wide linear kind of thing.
Yeah, yeah.
But honestly, if you played Uncharted 4, the section in Madagascar, I think it's going to be more like that, but maybe even more expansive if you remember what I'm talking about, the part where you're like on the Jeep like just driving around or whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
Um that I think because I mean them keying on Seattle makes me think a significant portion of this game takes place in Seattle, and it makes me wonder if you're going to have like a base of operations, you know, that you kind of work out of, and you kind of build some stuff up, and you can make like permanent changes to the environment. That would be interesting if they did that
So,
kind of thing.
so that's where I think the allies are going to come in.
Yeah.
Because he said you can have allies and things of that nature, and there were different allies that you saw, and I don't know if that's like story. I want to know if it's story allies or if it's like, yeah, you build a base of operation, you recruited some people, and you can
Hmm.
use different people for their different specializations. And one may specialize in melee, and one may specialize in sneaking with you, and another one may specialize in shooting or something like that. So
Yeah.
that would be pretty interesting.
Yeah, so I don't know. The game looks expansive. The way they keep talking about it, they keep saying it's the most ambitious, largest game they've ever made as a studio, which makes me think it's like, 25 or 30 hours, maybe more. Like that seems insane to me, but that's the way they keep talking about it because the first game was 20 hours, dude, like 20 plus hours, It was
It
a
wasn't.
long ass game.
It was level based though. I think this
Yes.
one's like how you said wide linear. I think this is going to be like kind of an open world experience simply because of that horse. Um,
Mechanic. Yeah.
yeah. So I want to know if they're gonna like if you like you said it takes place in Seattle, Washington. So I think Seattle is just going to be fucking huge. Like they're going to do some division type shit and just
Yeah.
kind of replicate.
Yeah, that's a vibe I got from the game. Actually, I'm glad you mentioned the division. Because yeah, I think I do agree with you. I think the whole city's going to be available, and they mentioned suburbs like in the coast as well. So I think the entirety of Seattle is going to be potentially available in the game. Like obviously, it probably won't be to scale, but
Yeah.
it'll be I imagine decently sized. But there was one thing they showed though is the fact that there's multiple factions in Seattle, obviously, But the cool part they showed is that there was a section of the gameplay footage they were showing that the factions fight each other. And this is something that games don't do enough. And I feel like and Division is actually one of those games that does do this, where the factions fight each other and you can kind of just let them fight, you know? And
Yeah.
that's what they said. Like, if you don't want to get involved, like, you don't have to. You can literally wait until they've finished their fight and just kill whoever's left, you know? And I think that's really fucking cool. The fact that, like, clickers and the zombies or whatever are fighting the WLF or whatever they call them. Like, I think that's really awesome. I love that kind of stuff in games, and I want more of that. You know, I think, like, that kind of dynamic, because it's going to change the way the combat goes, like in an encounter, you know,
Yeah.
depending on what you decide to do. Like, if you decide to wait till the end, you know, it's going to play out differently than if you get involved the second the combat breaks out. You know, you're trying to take advantage of the fact that they're distracted with an enemy, you know? So,
Yeah.
it's yeah, that's a cool feature as well. Also, the upgrade systems looked a little bit more in depth in the first game. Seems like there's some upgrades for Ellie specifically that are like character based, and then there's also weapon upgrades, just like the first game had. So that is interesting as well. The fact that she was using a Coke bottle as a silencer was was a cool touch. I like that.
Yeah, that was pretty funny.
That was interesting as well. So I don't know. Games I'm excited about the game for sure. I'm not like uber hyped, you know. The fact that I mean, dude, I'm sure you've been seeing this online, right? Like, all these fucking reviewers like, look what I got. I got fucking Last of Us 2, baby. Oh, I'm gonna be playing it and talking about it next week.
Yeah.
And it's like, dude,
I saw
like,
that shit. I
can
saw
you
that.
like yeah, for real, like, all these motherfuckers flaunting the fact that, like, they have inside access is like so fucking obnoxious, dude. It's like, it's such
I'm
a
not gonna lie, it pissed me off too. Like,
yeah,
usually I
it's
don't
such
get
a, like,
pissed off about
circle
that type
jerk
of thing.
thing. Yeah.
Yeah. When I think Greg posted it, he's like, "Yeah, I will be reviewing it on 12 a.m."
Yeah.
I'm like, "Oh my god, okay, we get it, bro. Like, you got the game and you can
Yeah.
play it now. That's cool."
Yeah, and I'm seeing everybody doing that. It's just like, all right, guys, like, great. You know, we all have to wait 3 weeks because we're a bunch of fucking plebeians. So, yeah, but I don't know. I'm looking forward to the game. I'm not looking forward to the conversation around the game. I am concerned about that. The pure, like, cultish nature of the fan base for this game is like, there's that side of it, and then there's the people who are going to hate this game because of the story it tries to tell, you know, based on the conversations that surrounded the leaks. I'm not looking forward to that whole discourse. So yeah. But you have any other thoughts on the video?
No, like I said, it really impressed me. It looks like an actual video game. I'm actually looking forward to it. I'm not like super hyped for it, but I will be buying it the first day if I can get my hands on it. If not, then I just get it digitally. It doesn't. I'm gonna get it digitally, but
yeah, I might get it digitally. Honestly, Sony games don't really, like. I don't mind buying Sony games digitally.
They don't really hold value that much.
They don't. Yeah, they don't. They literally never hold value.
Yeah,
like, this game will be discounted in like 3 months, even though it's The Last of Us.
Yeah, that's true. So I might get it digitally if I can't get it physically. But yeah, you are right about the discourse around the game. I saw Ellie kiss her girlfriend, and I already see Last of Us SJW Part 2, and it's just like, oh my god,
she's been gay since the first game. Like get over it, guys. Like, I don't know what to say about that. It's like if we have to have that conversation now, because I don't remember us having that conversation around the first game. So it's like,
why are we having this conversation in 2020?
Right. Why are we having it at all? Who cares? It's fucking completely normal. Like, get over it. You know? I don't know. But yeah, that's the internet, dude. It's like, that's Twitter,
and then people
man.
were complaining about the character model as well. Like, ooh, like what? It's like a meme going around, like Western design versus like Japanese design, and they'll show like Bayonetta, and then they'll show like Ellie, and it's just like,
oh my god,
yeah, it's getting outrageous. This game,
yeah,
has caused the wrong type of stir in people, and I'm not liking it at all.
Yeah, like what? They want Ellie to be more sexualized because that's
exactly what it is.
That's not the character they made.
That doesn't fix the context of the fucking game.
Right. It doesn't at all. No. Like, this is going to be a hyper violent, gory, graphic game, dude. Like, that is not the game they're making, you know? So,
And if you want that, play a Lollipop Chainsaw. Like, if you want that shit, they have it right there. You
I
got
remember that
Chainsaw.
game.
Yeah, you got people getting their heads cut off. You got girls with bikinis and fucking maid outfits and, you know, ponytails. So there you go.
Yeah.
I don't know what to tell you.
Right.
This is not that game. And I don't want every game designed that way. I don't want every game designed in this way. I want, you know, a variety. So I don't know.
I agree with you. 100%, man. All right, let us round the show out with our final segment, game releases. There's actually a decent amount of stuff this week, most of it on Switch, but Minecraft Dungeons came out on PC, and that is not going super well from what I can tell. There was a bug actually that was on that. It's already been patched. It was patched the day it came out, like 2 hours after it came out, but the game was apparently deleting people's C drives when they uninstalled it. So, yeah, that's pretty bad.
Whoa.
Yeah, dude. They fixed it really quickly, but it's one of those things, dude. Like, that is so bad. The fact that even made it out into the wild at all is absolutely horrific. Like, that's crazy.
Holy shit.
Dude,
the only thing I heard about was Phantasy Star 2 online.
Oh, yeah.
It's not going too well for the PC players right now.
Well, yeah, I heard the Microsoft store is, like, really screwing that up. Yeah, that came out on Tuesday.
Yeah, so Microsoft is in the shit bag right now.
Yeah, they're having a bad week. But Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition, like I said, it's coming out Friday, the day this podcast is live. So when you hear this, the game will be out. Go buy it.
Go buy it.
Yeah, I'm fucking shilling it up, baby. No, if you don't want to play it, don't buy it. Okay, only if you like it. XCOM 2 on Switch, BioShock Collection, and Borderlands Legendary Collection on Switch, which is coming with Borderlands 1, 2, and the pre-sequel, I believe. I don't know. I'm gonna guess coming with all the DLC as well for those games. I would guess, but I don't know.
I would be wrong.
I honestly, I'm gonna caution people with Borderlands: do research before you purchase that game on Switch. That game had really bad issues. Borderlands 2 specifically, running on Vita. Just make sure it runs well and is actually like the full game on Switch before you buy it, because that was an issue with the Vita version. So, and the Switch is more powerful than the Vita, definitely, but you know, it's still a underpowered console compared to the others. So, anything else jumping out at you, Montrell?
I'm thinking about getting XCOM 2 in that BioShock collection. So
yeah, XCOM 2 on Switch would be good.
Yeah.
I don't know what it comes with, though. I don't know if it comes with the expansion or if you have to buy that separately or what. So that's kind of important to me personally. But yeah, all right. I think that's it for us. You got anything else, man?
Nope, that's it.
Any other news stories percolating in your brain?
Nope, that's pretty much it.
All right, I'll close the show out. All right. If you like this episode, please like the episode, review the show, and subscribe to the show on whatever the feed you are listening to it on. And if you could, please share it with your friends. If you'd like to talk to either of us on Twitter, you can do so at iTrap for the Hokage for Montrell. That is the number 4, not the word. I am at Thundernut01. The show is at The Player's Take. If you'd like to send us a question, you can do so on Twitter or send us an email to theplayerstake01@gmail.com. Also, check the show out on YouTube. And if you like it there, please like it, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell, whatever the hell you're supposed to do over there. I don't know. Yeah, that's going to be it. Hopefully next week we have a PlayStation conference to discuss. If not, we'll talk about whatever the hell else. We'll talk about the fact that it was delayed, I'm sure. So look forward to that. We hope you guys enjoyed this one, and we will see you on